So
I'm too busy trying to get this cat off me.
that is not gonna you're not gonna win.
I want to make a pussy joke here, but I'm trying to get this pussy off of me. But
The
there we
pussy
go. I
joke
made it.
writes itself.
They do. They really do. And I don't see any images yet on our live stream, but that just means that, it's probably
It's
still
probably
connecting.
working.
Yeah.
It's probably working. It's doing its thing.
Yep.
But I'm gonna look as well. I will do my usual thing now that it's become a
Yeah.
usual
Okay.
thing. It's become a
Yep.
routine.
There we go. I love this.
Cat.
Um, right. Oh my God. So welcome in to our non-viewers currently. So hey everybody on the replay.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Hello. Maybe that's
Hello.
the reason why we should advertise. So like people will actually come and see, but
I know.
Maybe.
oops.
We are professionals and we know what we're doing,
I
right?
do need to talk to John though.
Yes, yes. But that's stuff that we don't need to, do on the live stream yet.
True story.
But yeah, yeah,
Welcome
I
to another
guess
episode. Filmed
indeed.
live before a studio to audience that we're gonna presume is there.
Our tens
Yeah.
of followers.
Our seven what did we what seven?
I think we're up to
Now
30. I think we're up to 30.
Do you think
yeah,
And
so?
yeah, I really do.
good.
The coolest thing that's happened to me as we're, kind of booting up and stuff is that I got hearing aids.
Yay.
And
Yay.
yep. So I am deaf in my right ear. So since birth, never heard anything. And last year, friend of the podcast, shout out to Christine Cunningham Ashworth. She told me about headphone or hearing aids that you can get that'll take the sound from one side. This is my right side, so this is the deaf sound.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take the sound coming in and put it into my left ear.
Oh wow.
So
Ooh.
it's really cool. And I love, there are things that I want to do with friends and stuff. Like I want to take a friend of mine to the beach and watch and listen to the shore, the waves, everything in true like stereo and have
That's
that
wonderful,
him
honey.
like look at me and stuff. But, I think in some regards, getting back to our topic of the Six of Swords, one of the very first things that I was taught about the Six of Swords, and this could be something, I don't know if it's any books or anything. I was taught that it represented science in a way, which is a
Interesting.
very radical and different, take from the stuff that I've learned and used since. So
Right.
in a way, me talking about these hearing aids and the technology and the science behind it, because hearing, and the body is a science,
Yeah.
is kind of oddly tied into the Six of Swords.
Huh.
So that's kind
Yeah.
of what we're going to talk about. What about you, Hillary?
Oh,
What do you like about
yeah.
the Six of Swords? Well, I guess I could go to
I'm
Melissa, but
no, it's fine. It's fine. The Six of Swords, I think, is really a card of transition. It's a very welcome card for my clients, especially when they've been going through a rough time and they see the Six of Swords come up upright in the
Mhm.
reading. And it's like kind of like um, that transition from the troubled waters or the rough seas into like smoother sailing, if we're going with the traditional depiction of the Six of Swords, which is typically the boat rowing, and you see the waves, and then you see the smoothness towards the right side. If we're looking right, it's usually towards the future. So it's a very welcome reprieve for them, and it is a card, especially when you've been like working on yourself, which I feel like I've been doing a lot of it lately, doing a lot
Oh
of like
yeah.
internal stuff and like not really feeling like anyone else is seeing it. That's kind of frustrating, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just like getting that card. It's just like, no, no, no. At least if nobody else sees it, at least the universe sees it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's like you're doing the work, like you are transforming. And so it doesn't really matter what other people are seeing as long as like you're feeling the difference because there is a new person within that is, you know, showing up to the party
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
There's this like with what both of you guys are saying, there's this kind of by whatever means necessary vibe to it. Like
Ooh,
I
I like that.
will get to smooth waters. I will change. I will implement, new tech if I have to. I will do whatever the fuck I need to do to get to a place where I'm more secure. So
Mm.
there's, and it always is that look over the shoulder, on some of the cards that makes me think like
Hmm.
they're like wondering if someone is chasing them. There has that a
Mm.
kind of expediency about it. Like, I really need to get this fixed. I need to take care of this right now. I need to go somewhere where I can feel safe. Um, so yeah, it's always got that kind of zoomy quality about it to me,
Hmm. Hmm.
man.
Do we want to talk a little bit about, I mean, I know we alluded to it, but does anyone have the RWS version close to hand so that we can show it or describe it
Um,
faithfully?
yeah, I might
Um,
have, I think I've got it in a drawer here. Yep. I got my little pocket universal weight and I don't
Nice.
think it's, I
no, I
didn't,
don't. I've got weird
okay.
ones.
Yep. I've got it.
Mine's in the other room, of
So,
course, in my party
okay.
bag because I did a private party
Okay. Here we
recently.
go. So it's the
Yeah.
mini, yeah, this is the mini universal weight. And basically it's got a boatman or a boat person, since we really can't see, their face, short hair, wearing tunic, green leggings, and red boots. And then we have two figures that are either wrapped in blankets or capes, hooded capes. So we don't see their faces either. But
Hmm.
Hillary was talking about these rough waters, which my fingers kind of, if you're actually watching the podcast, it's got, rough waters where my finger is, the
Hmm.
waves, the bumpy waters, but the rest of it is like calm and almost white. I look at
Hmm.
this as like maybe, ocean where you got to break through the surf. And then you've got that crystal blue waters and stuff. And off in the distance, there are like two islands or, landscapes. So the whole idea of traveling to I love this, a secure place. It ties in the transition between the water being rough to the smoother areas. And then that idea of, doing whatever it takes. So these people may have paid for their fare, or this is a family maybe where, they have a person that's good enough to do this. And of course, in the front of the boat, there are six swords, four of them placed kind of more to the left side of the car, and two of them kind of almost coming out of the head of, the cloaked folks.
It's too
And
late to save them. They've been stabbed
yeah, but
right in
I
the
look at
head.
this as, yeah, and there's a more like an adult figure or a bigger figure and a smaller figure. So you can almost, think of that as, you know, um, a parent and child in a way. Although when I describe cards, I try not to, put that sort of belief systems on it, because
Mm.
you never know,
It could
what
also
somebody's going to take
be
on it.
all of someone's belongings, in a bag, like
Yeah, I love
something
that.
precious for sure.
Exactly. So that's the traditional imagery of the Rider Irvis Smith Waite deck. Who wants to go
Sweet.
first on what they picked for,
I
fun
just got
cards?
my deck yesterday.
Ooh,
It's new. I got it from Colleen, who shouldn't have. What? It's from
yeah.
the I always call it the squirrel deck. It's the silver acorn. And not only are the waters choppy over here, they're like
Mhm.
poisonous looking green. We don't want to stay here. Even
No.
though the ferryman here is looking like he's taking us across the river Styx, like we still don't want to stay here. We'd rather be in the boat with that freaky ass guy,
Mhm.
um, going someplace that's good for us than staying here where it's
Mhm.
poison. Um, yeah.
what I love about that card, I've got it, I've got the deck too, and I'm looking at it. It reminds me of, especially with the boat person kind of being death in a way, except death doesn't have their side. They have, the staff that's pushing these two little tiny birds. It reminds me of like, the river Styx,
Yes.
where they're
Pay the
maybe,
ferryman.
yeah, pay the ferryman. And in this case, the ferryman, maybe that poisonous water is like limbo or hell in a way. And the ferryman is like, nope, these birdies aren't evil. We got to take them, to heaven or a better place because
Right.
they don't belong in that poison.
I think I get this card a lot when people are like, should I leave my job? And I'm like, yes.
Immediately.
Yes, you should. Goodbye. You should leave now. Don't even find a new job. Just get the fuck out. But I'll often tell them to take vacation if they have it. And like, yeah, you should plan to get out of there. It's not good for you. The cards are actually manifesting that you flee. I don't know how else to say it.
Right.
But yeah.
There's like no other way to say it when the Six of
Yeah.
Swords comes up. It's just like, you need to get the flock out of there.
It is time to dip.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. So who's going to go next?
Well, right now I'm posting on our gram of Insta to let people know that we're live talking about Six of Swords.
Okay. So I guess I'll go because once again, I'm using two cards. I'm using my Triple Goddess Tarot. And then I also picked the Hedge Witch Tarot by Tudorbeth and artwork by Angela Rizza. So I'll start with the Triple Goddess. And for me, when I wrote the description of this image, I've noticed for me, I use a lot of dark to light or light to dark things. Where in this case, we have a cave that these people, two of them, are magically being pushed out of. So they're looking back at that darkness, maybe letting it go, saying goodbye, and moving towards the sun. And I don't think I told Franco Ravelli, who is my artist, where to put, the swords or anything, but there are 3 swords to either side of the boat and the people. So it's very symmetrical, which is also kind of indicative of like that light to dark, the transitions and everything. And so for me, this is again, it's that card of transition. It's, breaking through the darkness. And for me, like Hilary said, I'm going through a lot of transformations, both internal and external. And I don't give myself enough credit for all this stuff that I've done, and especially in the past 4 months. I have a therapist that I go see, and I also have a psychiatrist, and both of them are like, you need to give yourself grace and compassion. Because I give kindness, grace, compassion to everybody else. And I'm learning how to do that. I'm learning how to literally remove myself from those dark places and, transporting myself into the future of light or, better places, so to speak. And it's not easy, as Hilary said, there's a lot going on. And, if you're having struggles, either with the current world situation or stuff you're going through, I highly recommend therapy. And I tell people, if your therapist isn't working for you, fire them, go find somebody else. Because we forget, a lot of the times, and doctors too, you can fire those that aren't supporting you in the ways that you need, and people forget about that a lot. So with the 6 of Swords, this is another interesting interpretation. Yeah.
Can I ask something about the Triple Goddess one? Yeah, yours. That's head on though, right? You mentioned that, right? That it's head on instead of seeing the backs, you're seeing the I really, really like that. And I don't know of any 6 of Swords in any deck that I personally know of that does that. So I think that's really a really unique way of seeing the 6 of Swords. And I really like it, Jaymi.
Yeah. I remember when I brought this deck to Reader Studio and Wald was taking a break and he wanted to see the deck. And he pulled this card and a few others and looked at them and said, "Do you see a pattern?" And I was just like, I wanted to tell him, fuck you for his insight. But he was right. A lot of this, like I said, I have internal struggles, darkness, light, do I stay or do I go, type of thing, in relationships, jobs, and everything. So this card also, is that stay or go, the struggle between, wanting and letting go and everything like that. But the Hedge Witch Tarot by Tudorbeth. And again, the art is by Angela Rizza. This is also a very unique interpretation. We've got 6 trees kind of planted like a forest around a feminine presenting person. An owl is kind of like hovering, kind of like my owl, my backdrop, the owl behind my head. So they've got another owl, almost a barn owl too. And then a rainbow that's kind of coming out of some dark clouds, like they're stormy. And they are holding a lantern, and it's almost like the rainbow is also coming out of one of their eyeballs. Oh, they even have glasses.
That's a neat trick.
Right? I mean, look at that. It's almost like the eyes got laser rainbows.
Fantastic. Mine are on back order. My laser rainbow eyes.
Right.
I've been waiting for them.
Should have paid for express shipping on the rainbow eyeball lasers.
Heck yeah. Laser beams. Okay. And I'm going to read from the manual just because I really like what Tudorbeth, how she or they actually did all this stuff. So the 6 of Swords to them are passage. The reversed is instability or stuck in a rut, which is, basically kind of the opposite of what we've been saying. And this book has 1 card answers like yes and no. And
Love
I think
that.
maybes. So this card is a yes. Do I stay or go? Leave that situation, like Melissa was saying. So they have 3 different breakdowns, one called the border, one called the writing, and one called the veil. The border is like a story. It's like the art description, that Angela probably had. And the next one is the writing. And that's kind of like a meaning description, where this one says, "You do not fear the forest, hedge witch, for it is part of you, and you have tread this path many times before. You are well equipped for this journey, and all that you need you carry within. You may have the owl as your guide, but you can lead anyone through this forest as you know the path well. Turbulent times are in the past, as you now make plans for a better and brighter future. Follow the rainbow to see where it leads." And the veil is another take where it says, "You have been through a difficult time, but now make some new plans. On a piece of paper," oh, it's activities like spells and stuff. "On a piece of paper, write 3 plans of things you want and need to do. Then take a piece of string or a white ribbon and tie a knot. Place a plan in each knot. Think about these plans. As you make each knot, name the plan, such as save money, apply to a different job, and so on. And then you say these words: by knot of 1, this plan has begun. By knot of 2, these plans are due. By knot of 3, these plans are free. Each time you have accomplished one, untie the knot. You do not have to untie them in order. You can always keep the ribbon or string with you to remind you of your good intentions." So again, this Hedge Witch tarot deck is it's published by Llewellyn. And yes, I got a review copy.
Nice.
But it's what I like is it's got that combination of meanings, description, physical card description, which is so important sometimes because, decks that have a lot going on in them, you kind of need a story to kind of like grasp, the thread of the meanings. And I love that they tie in this idea of an action, where a lot of us give homework, in our readings. You can also blend that into the homework, as an added bonus. But that said, hey, Hilary, did that give you enough time to find your card?
But plenty of time. I actually came with my homework done, but I was just like,
What?
oh yeah, we probably should advertise that we're going live, considering it's not a Friday, it's a Tuesday. But it was just when
Yeah.
we could all get together. But yeah, everyone was right. I was sleeping on the Shadowscapes tarot. I was definitely sleeping on it. Yeah, I get it
Yeah.
now. I get it. I get it.
Good.
So Stephanie Puman Law's Shadowscapes Tarot for the Six of Swords. And then I was just like, should I, do I? And then it was the deep card at the bottom of the
Right.
deck. So I'm just like, okay, all right, noted. Thank you. Thank you, Tarot.
Yeah.
So this to me, like, so sometimes with different cards, it's like the Six of Swords is a very watery card for an air
Mhm.
suit. And so
Right.
I like when tarot deck creators kind of give that acknowledgement of like, hey, actually it's air.
Mhm.
And in this case, the Six of Swords from the Shadowscapes Tarot, there's no water in this
Yeah.
one. There is just air.
Yeah.
So it's got like, what is it, ravens, I think. I don't want to
I
Come
just
on.
use
storm
I just
crows,
say corvid. I just say corvid.
corvids,
Yep.
storm crows. So
Nice.
storm crows sitting on the top of the swords, on the hilts of the swords, five of them, and then one sword hilt is free, and then you have this beautiful swan
Hmm.
carrying someone up. And so it is that passage. So as the guidebook says, the Six of Swords is a passage away from difficulties, but it's via air instead of via water. A chance to recover from after tribulations. Too much change from a bewildering world has perhaps induced despondency that you must find a way to lift out of. So it's a very like lifting kind of card, and having that movement be of air instead of water. I really, really like this.
Yeah. It's really
Like,
solid. It's a great deck.
I love that. I mean, when I look at that card, I see a lot of similarities to the Four of Swords, rest. But it's like, it's a vacation rest or it's a movement rest rather than a laying down and gathering, your resources and rest, getting ready for that Five of Swords, that fight, that, breaking of the heart in a way.
yeah. And I
And
like that. I like that the Six of Swords, most of the depictions of the Six of Swords is like, you're not the one doing the rowing. You're
Right.
not the
yeah,
one doing you're kind of like, you're still in motion, but you're like allowing somebody else almost to help you, to be
What?
the conductor. What? No. To be that conductor, or that, the person that's conveying you out of the
yeah.
situation. So you might not be doing, like, again, this is a very, I feel like, internally based card, where it's
Hmm.
just like you might, like, again, it might not be seen on the outside, but it's just like, but you feel the difference, and that's the
Yeah.
important part.
And, thinking about the homework portion of our episode, I wrote down, think about where you're at and how you can move yourself into a better, secure state of being, especially right now with all the drama, the hardships going on in, around the world. And to lend into what Hillary was saying, and this is hard for the Gen X generation,
We
ask
don't
for
ask for
help
help. We
when you
drink out of the garden hose. Fuck you.
exactly, ask for help when you need it. And that's something I'm actually getting better at. This past weekend, I installed a new light on my garage. However, I needed some help. And thankfully, my neighbor across the street was available and he helped me show me which connectors went to which, how to put in the ground. And then I finished putting it up. And then when it got dark, I adjusted the LED lights and stuff. And I was proud of me for asking for help. And I think Liz needs help with the
I need
cats.
help with my cat, please. Did I get to go? Did I get to show you my cool card?
Yeah, yeah.
For
You can
you?
show us again though.
Here
Yeah.
it is.
So
Thank you.
neat. So cool.
Cattail in the way.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's my
I
life.
ca- I can't wait to see how or to hear how your ratings go with that deck.
This is a silver acorn deck, by the way. I don't know if
Yes.
I said that out loud.
You might have
very
said it
good.
many times. Kind of
It's-
like a dangling
It's so
in
good.
front of me.
Participle. It's such a good deck, though.
It's
I
so
know that it was
good.
in its second printing, and Melissa and I were showing backs, but I think all the images are the same
Ma'am.
and stuff.
Madam,
Madam, please.
madam, please. Oh, there we go. See,
Baby
helping.
girl, just helping mama.
Was that all you needed, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
we love our
Six of
pets.
Swords moment.
Cat hair in my lipstick. The name of
Yep.
my autobiography.
By Melissa Sonova, coming to a publisher and store near you in
Yeah,
the future.
not soon, but we'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
That's my
actually
new
have
motto. That's
someone
not my new
watching.
motto. It's not gonna
Oh,
be. It's not
yay.
gonna happen soon, but it'll get there.
Ancient
Oh.
Voices. Is that
That's a friend
Amber?
of that's
Amber,
Amber.
right?
Yeah, shout out to
Amber.
Amber for catching us. I don't know when she logged in.
On the tail end, but still. Yeah. See what I did
So-
there? See what I did there? Tail.
Consummate professionals. Hey, Amber.
Consummate me's.
Yeah. What do you think of when you draw the Six of Swords?
And what's your
Is
favorite
there-
Six of Swords too?
Ooh,
while we're
yeah.
at it. I mean, not to put you on the spot or anything. I was going to look at the Verdance Tarot as well.
Yeah.
And see how the Verdance Tarot depicts the Six of Swords, another Stepanie Pullman Law deck, the newer one.
Yep, and I've got here's the box.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab the book because I know they got the next big pictures in that. Let's see, that's the 10, 8, 7, 6. Ooh, this one's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mama like.
Oh yeah, that's the shit right there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's good stuff.
So what I like about this is they got 5 swords like stuck in the ground, but one's floating nearby.
Again, that lifting, airy energy, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, and I love that between the 2 cards, if you want to hold up the Shadowscapes again.
Yes, ma'am.
Or, the book. I love that Steph uses a lot of purple in it because it does kind of have that watery illusion to it.
Yep.
But it's, again, air, ground, and when I look at the way this person is kind of lying, it's almost like an aerial, the aerial dance with the ribbons and stuff.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if she did some aerial, stuff. But yeah, she says the Six of Swords in this deck is the Voyager. Transition, moving on after struggles, and releasing the past. Again, like what I was saying, it's a releasing the past, thing. And then
and Amber is also saying that the Shining Tribe, 6 of Birds, taking steps to seek healing or change, trusting intuitive understanding and the power of dreams, especially psychic ones, which Shadowscape's image also brings up for me. That's what Amber said.
Yeah.
So thank you, Amber.
In the dreaming. Thank you, Amber. So I take it the Shining Tribe by Rachel Pollack is your favorite Six of Swords at the moment.
It's a good, honestly, I wasn't into it, but now that I've been slogging my way through a journey through the Forest of Souls, she does use the Shining Tribe for a lot of the examples of the readings that she does or she talks about. It's just what is tarot, what is God, what is God's reading for the world, what is God's tarot reading for the world, but six of birds, Ace of Birds shows up a lot, the different concepts of that. But now that I'm seeing some of those images, I'm just oh, maybe I should get the Shining Tribe Tarot.
That is such a fun book too,
Fun and difficult in many ways, because it's just it really, I don't think I would have the cojones to do even half of the readings that she discusses in that book. So
yeah,
but that's Rachel, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Okay.
Anyway, I guess anyway.
Sorry.
Well, I was typing down some more show notes and stuff, and Lily is at the curtain.
Yep.
which she's over there. But thank you, Amber, for talking with us today and
Yay.
telling us your Six of Swords. And thank you to Melissa and Hilary for joining and being awesome besties and having so much fun here. What does this mean? Are you goal posting? This is
Stalking.
I don't even know.
I'm
What
not
are you guys,
explaining that.
alpha Yeah, well, I'll stop the recordings and stuff. But yeah, thank you all
I'm
for
not
showing
explaining
up.
that on the air.
I know. We're gonna head out because I need to know what that means. And see you all next
It
time.
means nothing. It means nothing. Do not look that up. No one look that up.
Okay. See you next time.